I know in my last video that I said that the next video was going to be an amphibia video, but I lied to all of you. Now let's get into the context first. I was scrolling through Twitter, minding my business, not thinking anything of it, and then I saw a tweet. For the hell of it, say something bad about this show. Anybody that knows me closely knows how much I hate this show. Like, it's so bad to the point where I can't even rewatch it if I wanted. So then I retweeted the tweet with, I'm resisting the urges to make a whole thread on this. And I did, but it's in my drafts. So yeah, and you're never going to see the light of day on that. And then I retweeted my tweet with, fuck it, I'm making a video on it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I'm making this video at 12 in the morning on the 10th of July. So I'm making it at midnight just to talk about my hatred of this show so much. So I'm gonna keep it $150. If y'all haven't seen this show, I would just leave because I'm not gonna explain all the plot. I don't want this video to be long in the slightest. I already hate the show as it is, so I don't want to talk about it for a long time. So if you haven't seen it, I would just click off. And for that, let's just get into it. Now, before we get into the actual show, I just wanted to say how it went out. Seasonal rot. It is a term that is used for shows, longer shows usually. The longer the show goes on, the worse it gets. A prime example of this is the show that we're talking about right now. It got worse and worse as you watched it. Yes, season 1 and 2 were really, really good, but season 3 and 4 were absolutely horrendous. And that's all I wanted to say. Let's get to the first episode I want to talk about. So you're probably wondering, how does the first problem start in season 1? You just said that season 1 or 2 were really, really good. But if you watch the entire show, like all through it, you would understand how this show or this episode itself kind of broke apart the entirety of the show when it comes to romance. Basically, in this episode, Star and Marco basically bond each other's souls, so they're stuck together in being boyfriend and girlfriend. Even if they didn't want to be, you can't say no now because that your souls are bonded now. You can't do anything about that. Which brings us to our first problem: questionable consent, which shouldn't be a problem in a kids show. And to make the problem even worse, I'm pretty sure in previous episodes before this one, Marco even said himself that he had a crush on somebody else. So how does that make any sense? That's the first problem. And don't worry, we'll get back to the blood boom ball later. After that, season 1 was kind of chilling. Nothing else happened. But in season 2 though, now I'm going to split this segment into different parts to different episodes we get to. I'm not going to talk about all of season 2 because I don't want the video to be long. I just said that. But I will talk about the important ones, and that is it. Now in this episode, they introduce a new character called Mina Loveberry, which isn't a problem for the show right now, but later on, it's horrible. All I can say is that later on in the show, she's racist and got a way bigger role than she needed to have. On to the next episode. Basically, this entire episode is just Star and her friends have a sleepover, including Marco, and they play this little game where like, oh, it's basically just truth or dare, but remove the dare, and if you don't tell the truth, then you die. Well, they all die if someone lies. And to make it even worse, it's not them asking the questions, it's the game. So they don't have any control what questions to ask or not. And do y'all want to know who else was there too? Marco's crush. So you can imagine the question that the game asked. The game asked, who's your crush, to everybody in the room. I'm just gonna play the scene because I don't feel like explaining this.
Okay, Marco Diaz. Your crush?
Oh, Marco, you don't have to.
No, it's fine. Okay. My crush is on Jackie. Jackie Lynn Thomas.
What?
Somebody lied big time.
Who lied? Jada, was it you again? No, it is John Keats. Mine's the cute guy from Skate Camp. I love Star. And I love Oscar Grayson. Marco!
I told you, I have a crush on Jackie. At least I think I do. But what does that really mean? I've put her on this sort of pedestal. So, do I like the image of her, or for who she really is? I mean, I like her enough to know that she deserves someone who wants to get to know her, which is definitely me.
Wow. I always get to the truth, but that, kudos really. But you weren't the one who lied!
Stop it! What did we do to deserve this?
Lies are a plague, a virus, a weed! And to stop a weed, you must kill the roots!
But it's not really lying.
Uh-huh?
Sometimes you don't know what you think. Your head and your heart disagree. You think you know how you feel about something, but then it changes. Pony, ask me my favorite color.
But you already said it. It's yellow.
Ask me again.
What's your favorite color?
Right now, blue.
Wait! Stop it! You can't change your mind!
Jackie, who do you have a crush on?
I don't know anymore.
No!
You look at everything as black and white, and you can't.
Stop!
It's a bunch of different colors, a rainbow of feelings that's always changing.
And this is what happened at the end of the episode. Please read if you want to understand. Now, this episode isn't entirely bad. Of course, the point of the truth and the lies and changing your mind was a great, amazing point. And if you didn't read what I put on the screen earlier, basically, Star changed her mind about her crush, it being somebody else, and then going to Marco, which kind of is pretty stupid because that just puts the show in a love triangle, and I hate love triangles when it comes to movies, shows, books, anything in media. I hate it. Basically, Star changed her mind as soon as she answered her crush, switching it from the person that it was before, then Marco, which makes it a lie because the game can sense when you're lying. And then when Star pointed out that, hey, it's not a lie, you can change your mind, then it immediately dies. The game dies. Basically, to sum it up, Star's crush is Marco, and Marco's crush is Jackie, and then Jackie's crush, she doesn't know at all. And this brings the show into a very, very dire position. Because like I said, it's a love triangle, which in any show it's horrible. And it puts it in a worse position when you realize the blood moon ball is still a thing. And I'm just gonna go to the next episode because I don't want to talk about this topic at all. So, yeah. This is absolutely the worst episode in the series by far, like long shot. And I will say this with my chest. And this is because in this episode, Marco wanted to get his own little thing that lets you travel through dimensions and interdimensional scissor. That's what it is. And to earn it, you have to train like 25 to 30 years in a different realm. And he did that. And then he came back to the regular realm, human realm, earth realm, whatever. And he was still the same age, because in the earth realm, the 25 to 30 years was only like 5 minutes. So let me tell you the problem here. Star goes to the other realm where Marco was training for 25 to 30 years. And she finds him hot. And she's 14. And it wasn't like any regular, saying, "Oh, you look cool." No, it was, she was feeling on his abs and stuff. She was doing all this touchy. Like, bro, it's weird. And no, it does not matter if in a different dimension he's the same age. He was 14. No, it doesn't matter, because the thing is, the memories carry over. So he remembers all the stuff when he aged. He can change his age practically at any time, since he can go to that dimension at any time if he wanted to, which makes the entire ship even weirder than it was before. I don't feel like talking about this episode at all, so I'm just gonna get to the main part that I want to get to, like the part that I want to talk about. This ruined the show so much. And you could forget everything that I said earlier about Marco being 30 and all that being the worst part of the show. No. This is the worst part of the show. I'm gonna sum this up really quickly. Basically, Kelly was introduced in a season 2 episode, and a few episodes after that, or in the same episode, I don't remember, her and her boyfriend broke up, which opened a spot for Marco, and they started bonding in the latter few episodes of season 2. And they even did this move, which I still find this so stupid, but they did this move that requires the two people to have a strong chemistry with each other, which implies that they are perfect for each other, right? And it wasn't confirmed, or at least to my knowledge, that they were boyfriend and girlfriend. But in season 4 or in season 3, they broke them up off camera. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. That made me so angry, to the point that single-handedly made me stop watching the show. And I only watched the finale out of spite. I did not like a single second of the finale, and neither did the fans in the slightest. And here's the final part of the video. So yeah. And I mentioned this 3 times, but I don't want to make this video long at all, so I'm not going to talk about the rest of the seasons 3 and 4, because those are just a waste of time. Now, I'm not going to talk about the finale in depth. You can go watch other videos. I'll put some up on the screen right now if you want to learn more in depth about it. But it was just BS. Season 3 and 4 is just a seasonal story where the story changes each season, which sucks, because in season 1 and 2, the story was the same. They had the same villain, Toffee, and they finished it off with, I mean, it wasn't a bad season finale. It was decent, but it wasn't a finale that you would end your show on, especially while Toffee was dying. He said, "Oh, I'll be back," and he wasn't back ever. So they could have kept the same villain, Toffee, because it would have been better if he somehow resurrected and then gotten stronger, then taken over everything. Then that would have been cool. It would have been better than what we got with season 3 and 4. But no, we just got straight up idiots. Anything else I want to talk about? I mean, the continuity. The continuity was very good in season 1 and 2. But then in season 3 and 4, for some reason, they fired the person that was working on the continuity. So that ruined the show by a lot. Like, a lot. Because continuity in this show is like one of the main reasons why the show was very good. And here's the last thing I want to talk about. And I said this at the very beginning. The Blood Moon Ball, we're back to that. They actually didn't break the curse that was put on to Star and Marco until season 4, which, when I just talked about, a whole nother ship ended. Coco, I just went over that, ended because of the Blood Moon curse. So you can imagine how many ships were ruined because of that. Like Marco's crush on Jackie, Kelko, Star's relationships with other people, that was ruined. All that was ruined because of the curse that was only broken in season 4. That's the latest season. And I don't even think that it was like an early episode in season 4. It was like in the middle of it, like episode 14, 15, I think. And that's all for the video. If you couldn't understand anything, I'm sorry, because I'm very bad at explaining. But to the people who did understand, thanks for watching. But I promise this time the next video will be an Amphibia one. I swear to God. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Kelly deserved better, and this show is horrible. Thank you all for watching. Bye.